Nagyon szépen köszönöm.
Thank you very much for the possibility to present our survey. So we began the survey in 2017 on a big sample of the local population. And we will compare the first results with another survey realized at the end of the program Cultural Capital. So very often we hear about small cities, slow cities, creative cities, zero emission cities, circle planning, and so on. But what's the core of all these names and thoughts? Lots of researchers agree upon the fact that the centerpiece is the person and the community which is active and resilient. So the most important thing is to understand that we do need local heroes. Well, during the first session, we could really meet some of them. The population is absolutely needed. Local heroes are needed because those are the ones we can mobilize in order to really enhance the way of life and to get results on the well-being part of the life. So very, very quickly, what does it mean, Kraft Veszprém, which is the title of my lecture? So it's nothing else than a concept which would like to prove that we've got lots of networks which we can analyze thanks to the cooperation of several players, local players. It can be built in heritage, it can be the built and natural environment networks working in a given region. So we've got several focuses for investments. That is why in 2017 we started with the cooperation with some colleagues and with the cooperation of local university to really gather data on several points. So this is the Kraft program. So we wanted to monitor several features in order to determine what are the features and characteristics which has the most impact on local development. So we went also to gather some experience to Kőszeg, which is another city, and we learned a lot. And later on, this other town learned a lot with us. So it was really very important. So let's come back to the comparison between our data coming from 2017 versus 2024. In the survey of 2024, we could have more surveys in order to gather qualitative and quantitative data to have an even better understanding of the picture of local population. So there are two things I would like to underline. Even in 2017, we could really see that so it's a place good to be. People like to live here, and there is a long-term planning for the majority of the population. It means that they would like to stay and work and live in Veszprém. In 2014, the results are even better. And we could see the lowering of the non-satisfied people. So we wanted to identify the whys of these switches, what we could realize or just construct or establish which could have these impacts. It's important to say that, and we can really say it, that these better results are due to the capacity program. So let's start with the beginning. We had questions about workplace, working possibilities, financial situation, status of the people, the level of participation, and so on. So in the survey of 2017, we had satisfied people, but we had even more in the survey 2024. So whenever a city tries to establish a good tool in order to monitor the development of certain aspects, well, it's very important to have a good definition of these criteria, and also it is very important to have a baseline. In 2024, what was very important, the great switch, that there was much more trust from the population towards municipality, public transportation, police, and so on. So more trust. It was really positively shocking, a very nice result. We can also see that nowadays, for example, in 2024 at least, people had more trust in local infrastructure, in local planning, and local initiatives. In general, whenever it comes to a creative city, it is very important to see in what extent the local population is happy with cultural programming. So that is why we had a criteria also in order to monitor this feature. And so the first part of the slide is about cultural institutions, and the second one, the possibility of creating some leisure program. So we had better results from 2024 that we had beforehand from 2017. So people were more satisfied with the cultural institutions and leisure programs after the cultural capital program. Of course, you can have lots of criteria having an impact on the level of satisfaction of the people. We know that, but in general, we had an increase of people satisfied. And yes, what we could also see that people were more happy in the second survey, in the survey of 2024, with libraries, with concerts and the cultural programming in general, and they were happier what we could find as leisure programs in the city. And yes, in 2017, we had, let's say, just some expectations from the population in order to have better gastronomy offering in the city. And in 2024, people were much more satisfied than they were in 2017. It was great to see. And we had also several questions asked. For example, we wanted to know what citizen population, local people wanted to have as programs in the cultural field and else. So yes, music is important, but not only. We really could see that the places we established, for example, some community places, people want that the programs continue, and they were happy to participate to those cultural programs offered by the Capital City program. We wanted to ask other kind of questions too. For example, we wanted to know that what people think, what was good for Veszprém, what people felt and thought very good for our city during this cultural capital program. What were the pluses of the program? So it was very, very interesting to see what people answered. Yes, even people who did not really participate in cultural programs, also these people were very happy, for example, by infrastructural developments. They were happier with the streets, they were happy with the active city where we are now. Lots of people were just happy by the general improving of the city. It's important that people were proud. We could see that the Veszprémi people were happy and very proud being a cultural capital. And yes, of course, it's very important because if we speak about advantages, pluses, let's speak about minuses too. So we asked what were the negative parts, the discrepancies felt during this program. So transportation. Transportation was the one mostly put forward. And of course, whenever it comes to construction works, well, it was noisy, of course, for example. Those were the minuses that we could identify by asking local people about their opinions. And we wanted to ask them, and this is my next slide, why are proud the Veszprém people? So they are very proud about the architectural heritage. They are proud of the natural environment, and they are very proud of their culture. And yes, Veszprém is a city, but of course we are connected to a region. And we wanted to gather some data about it. So we wanted to know what are the switches in between 2017 and 2024 when it comes to connectivity at regional level. In 2024, now we could see that we've got a very important increase whenever we wanted to know how many people in the region are connected and feel connected to Veszprém, and there is a huge increase after the program. And yes, I started my lecture by saying that it is so important to render local people active whenever it comes to local development. And yes, even in 2017, we could see that people thought that local people are creative and open. And in 2024, we could have an increase of that up to 90%, which is an incredibly good result. And yes, we had hundreds of indicators in order to establish analysis. We needed hundreds of indicators. And we could publish in a very prestigious review this analysis, so we are quite proud of it. And in 2017 we published it, and we did it again in 2024. So the politicians, those who decide, and even ourselves, we have to know what should be in our focus. So it is very important that people can be satisfied by infrastructure and built city and the environment of the city, the trust. So those are the most important points. So there are lots of local people who would like to buy everything necessary locally, and who would like to go at least once a month to a cultural program. So we have to be able to satisfy them. So now I would like to thank all my colleagues who helped us in order to establish this exceptional survey. Thank you very much.